So welcome to the first video, and today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Now if you don't know what Bitcoin is, you need to get involved. You need to start finding out what Bitcoin is. This thing is the latest gold rush since the California gold rush in the old days. Alright, this is something that you do not want to regret missing come 2 years down the road from now, when the Bitcoin prices are $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a Bitcoin. You need to start getting involved now. This is basically something. Imagine when the internet was first getting released. First you had AOL. If you can remember, you got a lot of those CD packets in the mail. You got those packages that offered you free hours for AOL for a couple of months or whatever. So you got those in the mail, and then you would go and you'd sign up, and after many years, of course, nobody knew back then what email was. Now you can't find anybody who doesn't know what an email is. Okay, so this is that sort of deal, folks. This is something that's very new to the financial sector, and it's going to change the game. And you're getting in right now at this point in time, which is roughly November 2016. The price of Bitcoin is around about $735. Okay, that will most likely keep climbing. If you look at gold, for example, back in 2006, you look at the history charts for gold. Gold was relatively low back then. It started to climb back up, and then it went all the way up to almost $1,800 an ounce for gold. The similar thing is going to happen right now with Bitcoin. If you really pay attention out there and you're looking around, you're starting to see a lot of stores popping up offering Bitcoin. Okay, there's many different online outlets that are selling products and services online, and they're accepting Bitcoin for payment. PayPal's getting ready to come out with their own version of a PayPal system, I believe. You can even go and buy physical real gold using Bitcoin on certain websites nowadays. And you can even go to an ATM in your local area, and there's starting to be Bitcoin ATMs where you will be able to insert cash and get a Bitcoin. Or you can buy like a Bitcoin ATM card, which is preloaded with Bitcoins on the card, which you can go to 7-Eleven, go to a store, your Walmart, your Target, and use that as if it was a credit card, or a debit card, I should say, not a credit card, but you'll be able to use it at your local stores as if it was a debit card, debiting the balance that is on that Bitcoin debit card. Okay. So as I was saying before, the value of a Bitcoin is roughly at around about $735, $39 roughly. We can go over here on xe.com, and we can see the value of one Bitcoin is worth approximately $739 currently right now is the value. So let's talk a little bit about past history here for a moment. Back in the 17th century, there was a tulip bubble. There was a Dutch tulip bubble of 1637. Back then, people started to speculate on the price of tulips, and the price of tulips had skyrocketed to roughly $1,250 in current American dollars. Now, this was back in the 17th century, so that was a lot of money. So now here's what I want you to think about. Now, this was a bubble that burst back then. Now this is a Bitcoin bubble. This is a new bubble, and you're getting in on the ground floor. Right now, these Bitcoins are only worth $739. Okay, but they could go up to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Okay, that's what I'm trying to make here. Now, you can with that value, you can even go and buy gold, for example. So here on jmbullionvault.com, you can see up here they've got the little Bitcoin emblem up there. So let's say I wanted to go and buy, let's see, an ounce of American Gold Eagle, 1 ounce. Okay, that's $1,980. But I want to buy 3 of them. Okay, so we'll add it to the cart, and over here you can see pay with check, wire, or BTC. That's Bitcoin. $5,994. If you pay with your credit card or PayPal, it will cost you this much. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is this Bitcoin. You can actually pay for gold, real 24 karat gold, okay, with Bitcoin. You can also go and trade with people in your local area. You can trade with them if you find somebody who is trustworthy. You can go to them. You can trade with them. I would suggest that you take a currency counterfeit scanner. You know, let me show you what one of those look like. Hold on a second. Okay, here I am on eBay. You can see here we have counterfeit money bill detectors. Okay, so what Bitcoin is it's basically a new cryptocurrency that is basically it's a math problem. All right, and you need really fast computers. You need a lot of computing power to figure out what is this encryption on the blockchain. That basically there's only a set limit number of Bitcoins that will ever be in circulation, which is going to be 21 million in the year 2140. Currently, right now, we are at roughly about 16 million Bitcoins in circulation. Every few years, there's a halving period that occurs. These Bitcoins are mined by Bitcoin miners. Most of them are in China right now, and they're mining these Bitcoins using computers. Now, when I say mining, it's basically they're using their computer processing power to solve a math problem, to solve an encryption math problem. Okay, and then every time it solves a block of that problem, that is a Bitcoin. And right now there's about 16 million of these Bitcoins in circulation, and these Bitcoins are coming out every day. There's a few more Bitcoins coming out every day. I believe we're 12 per day or something like that. But there's going to be a new halving that occurs, I believe, sometime around in 2020. So roughly 3 years from now, there will be another halving that occurs where the amount of Bitcoins that are being released into the population will be cut in half. What that will do is it will help increase the value of Bitcoin, for one, because there will be less of them being found or mined. So that will help to make them more rare, help to make the Bitcoins more rare, and in turn makes the price go up for Bitcoin. Okay, now you don't have to worry about mining Bitcoins to get Bitcoins. There are other ways of getting Bitcoins. You can buy them. You can trade with somebody or something like that. But I would suggest doing some mining. Most of the Bitcoin miners are in China right now. However, you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of expensive equipment to mine Bitcoins. You can go to cloud Bitcoin hosting sites, which I'll show you in some future videos about these cloud Bitcoin mining sites. But my point is that you don't have to go out and spend a whole bunch of money trying to get new computers that are fast enough to mine these Bitcoins. What I would suggest, here's what I would suggest. For you to get started in making more Bitcoin, I would suggest that you take a little bit of cash, whatever cash you have on hand, maybe a couple $100. I'm not asking you to, spend thousands and thousands of dollars. Just take, $200, $100, something like that, okay? Find a local Bitcoin ATM, all right? Or you can even go on Coinbase, which I wouldn't recommend. But if you're just getting started, you can go ahead and use Coinbase. For you American citizens, go ahead and use Coinbase. Go to Coinbase, sign up for an account, get your account all set up and verified. Set up the two-factor authentication. Get your Bitcoin wallet and take maybe 100, 200 bucks and buy some Bitcoin. Be the greatest thing you've ever done. Just get started. Okay, so go out, buy a little bit of Bitcoin. It doesn't have to be much. Once you have your Bitcoin, you now have your Bitcoin stored in your wallet. Okay, so the next move is basically we'll discuss that in some future videos. But another way for you to go and get Bitcoin is for you to go to this ATM radar here that I showed you, and find out where there's some ATMs in your area where you can go and exchange cash for Bitcoin. Okay. Once you have your Bitcoin, hold on to it, and I'll show you how to make that Bitcoin grow. Okay. Now, the reason I said I wouldn't suggest using Bitcoin for you Americans out there is because Bitcoin or Coinbase is a bit centralized. Okay, so when Bitcoin really starts to take off, it's just best that you're in control of your Bitcoins. You don't want anybody else in control of your Bitcoins ever. I mean, this is the Napster of Bitcoin right now. All right, if you remember when Napster came out, Napster was the biggest thing. Everybody was downloading songs and music, and then what happened? The government came after Napster. Okay, and then now you have BitTorrents, which are everywhere, which is peer-to-peer. Bitcoin is very similar. It's peer-to-peer. It's decentralized in such a way. So that's the point I'm trying to make here. I would suggest that to get started, go ahead and get started with Coinbase. You're not taking very much risk at all to go ahead and get started with Coinbase right now. Bitcoin is here to stay. The price is continuing to rise. It's not going anywhere. So go ahead and buy yourself a small amount of Bitcoin so that we can get started on making your Bitcoin balance grow. You'll be able to get a lot more Bitcoins and then convert those Bitcoins into cash. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll log into my Coinbase account. Okay, and I will cover out some things here. But here you can see, I've got a little bit of balance in here. I've got $2,104 in my Bitcoin balance. And today, Bitcoin's going up a little bit today. Here we can see the actual price fluctuations right now on Bitcoin. So what I would suggest is go and get yourself a little bit of Bitcoin. You don't have to have $2,000, okay? But that's what I have. All right, so go get started, get your accounts, get your wallet set up on Coinbase, and then in the following videos, I'll show you what to do with that Bitcoin to start making more money. Okay, we're going to be doing some promotions, doing some marketing and stuff like that to help you grow that Bitcoin, and you can make, I don't know, several couple grand. It doesn't matter, it depends on what you put into it. That's really what's going to determine how much money you make. If you're just nonchalant about this and you're just like, whatever, it's no big deal, yeah, I've seen this before, or whatever you may be thinking, get out there and start getting some Bitcoin and get to work. I mean, this is your chance right now to make a lot of money. Pay very close attention to my videos with the proper marketing and the proper direction. If you keep on watching my videos, you will make a lot of money from Bitcoin. All right. But if you're just going to sit around and, not follow my advice, not listen to me, and just think that I'm just, talking out of my ass or whatever it is, then you're not going to make anything and you're going to miss the boat. All right. Right now, you're getting in on the ground floor of what is going to be pretty big. Back when digital cameras first came out, Kodak got ruined. But Kodak didn't get ruined because, Kodak had digital cameras at that time. What killed Kodak was the fact that mobile phones came out, and mobile phones have cameras built in, and that's what Kodak was not prepared for. So Kodak was prepared for when digital cameras came out, but Kodak was not prepared for when mobile phones came out, which is what put Kodak out of business. Or that's why Kodak has had problems. I don't know if they're out of business right now, but I know that they've had problems ever since the mobile phones came out. So that's the new sort of thing in comparison with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's just coming out right now. This is a disruption technology that is going to change the whole complete financial markets. So you're getting in on the ground floor right now of Bitcoin, and you need to really start getting involved and start promoting a lot of these Bitcoin offers to help grow the value of your Bitcoin using some marketing techniques and things like that. You'll be able to start making a lot of money in Bitcoin, and then exchange that Bitcoin for either gold, silver, or plain old fiat currency. Okay, you can go to the ATMs, you can go meet up with private sellers in your local area and exchange for cash. You can exchange on Coinbase and get Bitcoins. I don't really recommend it, because I would say try to keep all of your financial assets in your control. I don't want to give that control over to Coinbase. I much rather keep the control of my finances myself. So there's certain things that you can go and buy, like a hardware Bitcoin wallet. Let me just show you what one of those look like as well. Okay, so here's an example of one of the Bitcoin wallets, the hardware wallets that you can get for Bitcoin. This is the Keep a Key, and here we also have the Ledger Nano S, which also has a display. This is a hardware device that plugs into your USB slot on your computer, and it allows you to basically keep control of your Bitcoin currency on this device. Now, you wouldn't want to lose this device, and you might want to buy, maybe 2 or 3 of them and duplicate them and put them in different areas, put them in secure places. But I would suggest the best way to go is to get one of these devices like the Nano S or the Keep a Key and buy some Bitcoin. Go to your local ATM, all right, and use your fiat currency, buy some Bitcoin, and then start to store that Bitcoin on one of these devices, okay? Or you can use Coinbase, but if anything really happens, or things change in the future, you want to have control of your Bitcoin. You don't want to be taxed on your Bitcoin. Right now, I know the IRS is basically they're filing a lawsuit against Coinbase. Because they want to be able to keep track of people's incomes. They want to be able to know how much Bitcoin you're buying and things like that. So if you are okay with the IRS knowing, right now it hasn't gone through yet. Right now Coinbase is going to fight it in court, and we'll see where that goes. But most likely the IRS will probably win, and Coinbase will be audited, and all of your financial records from Coinbase will be sent over to the IRS. To avoid things like that, you could use things like this Ledger Nano S, get your Bitcoin from a local Bitcoin ATM instead, and load up on this device, and then have these devices stored in several secure places, and you maintain control of your Bitcoin currency. That is the way that I suggest that you go. But if you're just getting started, go ahead and open up an account at Coinbase. Get started, buy your Bitcoin, buy a small amount, maybe $100-$200, not much. I'm not asking you guys to go out and buy thousands and thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin. All right, just go and buy a little bit. That way you're not risking that much, and you're getting started. Okay. Then buy one of these devices. They're like $60. You can buy them on Amazon. You can, just Google the Keep a Key and Ledger Nano S. All right. I've just ordered one. I've got one coming in the mail. I've gone ahead and I've gotten started on Coinbase right now, but I've got one of these devices coming from Amazon, And when it comes, I'll probably make a video on how to get that all set up. Okay, but anyways, I would suggest you get one of these devices and keep control of your Bitcoins yourself. Now, Coinbase charges a 1.5% fee anytime you're changing your fiat currency over to Bitcoin. So there's always a 1.5% fee. Now, if you go to an ATM, you're going to be charged a 10% fee, which costs quite a bit more than 1.5%. However, you also have that extra added benefit of, nobody knows, where that Bitcoin came from. Nobody's monitoring these ATMs right now as far as, how much money or Bitcoins they're dispensing. All right, so you can buy these Bitcoins in privacy and maintain them yourself on your crypto hardware wallet. All right, whereas with Coinbase, that's in control of a third party, and they could be audited by the government, and then all of your financial records and everything, all the Bitcoins that you've made would then be in the hands of the government. And if you want that sort of issues on your hands, then go that route. Me personally, I'm going to go ahead and buy the hardware wallets. And when I buy this hardware wallet, when it comes next week from Amazon, I'm going to get it all set up. And I'd much rather pay that extra 10% fee for buying my Bitcoins from an ATM just for that privacy. Okay? Then I don't have to worry about, any type of people trying to claim rights to any income that I've made, or, any profits or things like that. So, of course, I'll still pay my taxes, and I'll still file my tax returns, and I'll still, send my payments for any money that I make, any income. But I'll be keeping track of all of my assets, and I'll keep control of all my Bitcoins on my hardware wallet. Okay, now for all you guys that are not in the United States and you guys want to go and buy some Bitcoins, I believe Coinbase is only for U.S. residents. But for you guys that are in other countries and you can't verify your identity with Coinbase because you're not a U.S. resident, just get on Google and type in Bitcoin exchanges. And there are many, many Bitcoin exchanges all over the world where you can go and exchange your fiat currency for Bitcoin. Okay, so here, for example, we have CoinHouse, in Europe. So that's in Europe. Here we have Kraken, which is in the U.S. They also exchange in different currencies. We have Bitstamp, which is in London, UK. We have Bitso, which is in Mexico. Here we have Bitcoin.de, which is in Germany. Here we have Anycoin, which is in the Netherlands. We have Kcoin, which is in China. I don't know how to pronounce this one, but that's in Beijing. Here we have HitBTT, which is in Denmark, in Copenhagen, Denmark. Here we have 24/7 Exchange, which is in Belize. We have BitTC India, which is in India. Coin Exchange, I guess that's how you would pronounce that, in Singapore. So my point is, folks, is that these Bitcoin exchanges are all over the world. You have Poland, Hong Kong, China, Czech Republic, Australia, Israel, Japan, Thailand, Indonesia. You're going to have Philippines, Russia, China, Austria, Nigeria, Vancouver, Spain. Okay, so these Bitcoin exchanges are all over the world. Go take your fiat currency to these local Bitcoin exchanges and go buy some Bitcoin. It'd be the best thing you ever did if you continue to follow my advice. All right. Now, currently, right now, the Bitcoin price is at $740 for Bitcoin. Here you can see on XE since March of 2016, Bitcoin was at $436. And ever since March of 2016, it's just keep on climbing. And it's going to go to the moon, folks. Okay, it's already at, $739 right now today. And back in March, it was already at roughly $220 or $420, $23. So $423 in May, and then now, just several months later, it's already $739. This thing could go to $3,000-$4,000 per Bitcoin. Okay. Just go out on the internet, start looking all over the place, start seeing where all these stores are starting to offer, acceptance for Bitcoin. What do you think that's going to do? It's starting to gain adoption. People are starting to use this currency more and more. Okay, it's only going to get bigger. You're getting in on the ground floor of Bitcoin. Okay. Start getting Bitcoin, start getting out there and promoting the Bitcoin using the marketing techniques and methods that I'm going to teach you in future videos. Okay, so with this price rising so much, the most important thing is that you go out to your local exchange and start getting some Bitcoin. Now, earlier in the video, I mentioned about Bitcoin mining and doing some calculations with your computer to mine these Bitcoins. You don't have to do all that. Okay, don't even get on YouTube and start looking around at all these videos where these guys are buying hardware and altcoins and they're mining altcoins and they're mining Bitcoins and all this other stuff. Buying computer hardware and doing it themselves in their home. Okay, you're going to get distracted, and it's a lot to set up. It's a lot of research that you have to do to start doing all this Bitcoin mining. What is going on right now? What is most popular is for you to do a bit mining cloud, to join a bit mining pool. Okay, there's services out there, websites where you can go and you can rent their servers, which will do the Bitcoin mining for you. Okay, but for you to get started right now, just go out and get a little bit of Bitcoin, just $100-$200, maybe whatever you have on hand. Buy a little bit of Bitcoin. Okay, once you've bought a little bit of Bitcoin, then continue to watch the rest of my videos that I put out, which will teach you how to start making more Bitcoin with the Bitcoin that you already have. Okay, so don't get distracted with trying to learn how to mine Bitcoin yourself, or at the very least, if you are going to mine Bitcoin, do it through a service like Bitcoin cloud mining. Join a pool. Okay, join a pool where you can go and do some Bitcoin cloud mining. I'll be sharing some of those resources later with you. But join a pool where you can join a bunch of people and rent their computer services and their hardware and mine Bitcoin. Now, you will have to share some of the profits. Of course, they have to make money too. But it's a lot more easier to do it that way than try to do it yourselves. Okay, you're going to miss the boat if you try to waste all this time getting on YouTube, doing all these research videos, and trying to learn how to mine Bitcoin yourself. You're just going to waste a lot of time. And meanwhile, the price of Bitcoin is going to continue to climb. And while you're stuck trying to figure out how to mine Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin is going to keep going up. When you could have just went ahead, bought Bitcoin, and started doing some marketing and increased the value of that Bitcoin yourself. Okay, I'll show you how to make some more money with Bitcoin. You can earn the Bitcoin and then exchange it. Exchange it for whatever you want, whether you want gold, whether you want fiat currency, you want to go and exchange it for cash, you can do that too. Okay, so my point is right here is, don't get distracted. Don't get on YouTube and start doing a bunch of searching for Bitcoin mining and start thinking, oh my God, I got to go buy all this hardware. I got to buy a new computer and video cards and ASICs decryption devices and stuff like that. No, you don't have to do any of that. Okay. My best advice would be to go with a Bitcoin mining cloud or something like that. That's the best way to go. Then you can start getting in right away and start making profits within just a few hours. You could literally, after watching my video right now, go ahead and get on Google and start looking up for cloud hosting sites where they have cloud mining services, and join up with them, pay the rental fee for their servers, and start mining Bitcoin and having that Bitcoin deposited into your wallet. You could do that today, okay? But in order to do that, most likely you also need to buy a little bit of Bitcoin. Usually most of these services want to get paid in Bitcoin, okay? Or, you know, they may take fiat currency. I don't know. It just depends. Get on Google and start looking for these services. I will be providing more information later and more videos about Bitcoin mining. But for right now, I'm trying to keep this video a bit focused and just focus on the core things that I want you guys to focus on right now. Okay, so for all you guys that are in other countries, you know, like I said, if you're going to go and buy Bitcoin, and you're in another country and you're not in the U.S. and you can't use Coinbase and you can't find any ATMs in your local area using coinatmradar.com. First, if you're in another country, I would suggest that you go to coinatmradar.com and try to find a local ATM. If you can't find a local ATM to buy your Bitcoin, go on Google and search for Bitcoin exchanges within your country where you can go and buy Bitcoins from a local Bitcoin exchange, as I explained earlier in this video. There's also another option. If you wanted to trade with somebody face-to-face, in person, you can also do that as well. Now, when you want to go and trade with somebody face-to-face, you want to take a couple of things with you. You want to take possibly if you're exchanging Bitcoin for cash, you're going to want to take some sort of counterfeit currency scanner, like I showed you over here. You know, you want to take something that has a blue light on it that's able to, check the currency, make sure that it's real currency and it's not some counterfeit currency that they're passing off to you. You will also need to take your cell phone. So say for example, you're buying Bitcoin from somebody, okay? You're going to want to take your cell phone. They're also going to bring their cell phone, and you're going to give them a Bitcoin address. And they're going to use that address and they're going to send you Bitcoin using your address that you gave them. Okay, so you give them a Bitcoin address, you give them cash, and then they transfer Bitcoin to your Bitcoin wallet using the Bitcoin address that you provided them. Okay. Now, if you were on the opposite side of the trade and you were receiving cash for Bitcoin, then that's when you would want to use, a counterfeit scanner and make sure that the currency that they're giving you is real currency. Okay, make sure that it's not counterfeit currency. And then you would then get a Bitcoin address from them, and then you would then transfer them Bitcoin. Okay, you would have to wait a few minutes for confirmation. There is some time delay where you need to wait a few minutes for confirmations of the transfer. You can find people in your local area using LocalBitcoins.com. So anywhere in the world, wherever you may be, you can go to LocalBitcoins.com and look for people to do trades with. Okay, you can find ATMs on this site, or you can find people to meet up face to face. So for example, if I wanted to get 30,000 pesos and I was in the Philippines, I'm not, but if I was in the Philippines, or I could be in any country, Thailand, UK, Mexico, Netherlands, Australia, it doesn't matter. Okay, get on this site, start doing some searching. I put in 30,000 pesos for the Philippines. Let's just imagine that I was in the Philippines. Okay, I would be able to come here to this site and look up here. We can see, different people here who are offering to exchange for Bitcoins. So here, they're trading. They've got a number of confirmed trades, 3,000 plus. They've got different reviews and feedback scores. Okay, you can come on here and find different people or ATMs to do your trades with. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this site. You're going to have to kind of take a look at the site yourself. I believe there is also an escrow service where they will act as an intermediary for the trade if you're doing trades online through local Bitcoins. I wouldn't really recommend that. If I was going to do a trade online for Bitcoin, my first option would be for obtaining Bitcoin would be to go to a Bitcoin ATM and buy Bitcoin that way. All right, that would be my very first choice. Second choice, I would try to find somebody in private who I could meet up with, who I could trust, and start doing trades with them for Bitcoin. Okay, providing them fiat currency and them giving me Bitcoin. I would go that route second. And third route, I would go and look for, as a last option, I would go and look for exchanges within my country, Bitcoin exchanges. Do a search on Google. Just type in, like this, just go type in Bitcoin exchanges. And like I showed you earlier in the video, you can click on this top list of 40 Bitcoin exchanges here. And you can find your country in this list and go sign up at your local Bitcoin exchange. That would be the third option. And the reason why I say that's the third option is just because these exchanges are going through a middleman, and there might be some regulation that's involved that comes down the pike later. So I would suggest you go to an ATM first, get your Bitcoins there because they're less likely to be regulated. Second choice, I would go and possibly find somebody to meet up with in person, in private, and do an exchange face to face with them using my cell phone, a Bitcoin wallet with a Bitcoin address, and let them send me Bitcoins. All right, and I give them cash. All right, so that would be my second choice. Usually they want a little bit of premium because they got to get in their car, they got to come meet you, things like that. So there's a bit of a premium there usually if you go that route. So that's why usually buying from an ATM is going to be your best bet for fees wise and maintaining privacy. Okay. Now, yes, the exchanges are cheaper fee wise. It's a 1.5% fee using a Bitcoin exchange typically, as compared to using an ATM, which has a 10% fee. So there is a much bigger difference in the fee. But using the ATMs, to me, you retain your privacy. It's less likely to be regulated. So to me, that offers a much added benefit. I'd much rather pay the 10% fee from the ATM. All right. So you can also make deals with a lot of these ATM providers as well. So say, for example, if you're doing larger volumes, there's usually an ATM number, phone number for these ATMs. Call that number up. Tell them, say, hey, I'm buying some Bitcoins from your ATM, and I'd like to scale up and buy a bit more Bitcoin. Could you offer me a better rate? You can do that as well. So you could get that fee down to maybe 6%, 5%, okay? It's still going to be more than what you pay at the exchange, but you have privacy. It's less likely to be regulated. You're in control, okay? That's the way I prefer to go. Second option, as I said, would be to go and find somebody in private. But like I said, you typically go and you meet somebody in private. You have certain risk involved meeting a stranger. Okay, you have that risk, and then typically their fees are going to be higher than the ATM fees because they have to get in their car, they have to come meet you. They're not in it to make peanuts. They want to make a little bit of a profit on their exchange as well. So it's going to most likely be higher than 10%. That's just the nature of the beast, I guess. Anyways, so let's move along here. Now, if you're in another country and you want to go and meet somebody, let's just type in Mexico now. Let's just say I was in Mexico and I wanted 30,000 Mexican pesos. here we go. You know, we can come on here and find different results for people in Mexico. All right, this seller is using escrow, it looks like. Now, when I'm telling you to go out and buy Bitcoin, folks, you're not losing any money right now. You know, if you go and you take $200 and you go and buy Bitcoin, don't look at that like, oh, I'm spending money, I'm losing my money because I'm buying Bitcoin. No, the Bitcoin is still worth money. The only thing you're going to lose is the transaction fee. I mean, you're talking peanuts here. You're talking dust. You're talking nothing. Okay, so you're talking, you know, a couple percent of whatever the amount was that you're buying. Okay, so you're not really losing any money buying some Bitcoin. All right, so go out there, spend $100, $200 and go and buy some Bitcoin, and then you still have that money. You still have that money to spend. You can go and change it back later for your dollars or fiat or whatever other currency you're wanting to exchange for, and you can still go and spend that money at the store. So it's not like you're losing anything, folks. Go and take $100 or $200, just get started, buy a little bit of Bitcoin, okay? Even if it's only $50, at least you're getting started, all right? You're not losing any value. You still have your Bitcoins, okay? So we've talked about, you know, trading in person. Another thing to talk about is Bitcoins. With Bitcoins, you can send payments to anybody, anywhere in the world, and the fee is close to zero. I mean, it's like it's like 0.2. It's like 0.2 of 1%. You can send a payment to somebody anywhere in the world via Bitcoin. Okay. In some cases, it's even zero. You don't pay any fees in some cases. So it really depends. It depends on which services you're using, whether there's a fee attached to the transfer when you're sending somebody some money, but it's really cheap. So if you already have some Bitcoin and you want to send that Bitcoin to somebody anywhere in the world, all they got to do is go and get a Bitcoin wallet and you can send them that Bitcoin. Simple as that. Simple as that. And it's really cheap. So let's move along here and let's talk about, you know, what Bitcoin means for the financial industry. This thing is most likely going to blow up pretty quickly here within the next few years. Within 2, 3, 4 years, Bitcoin is going to be all over the place. Mark my words. Okay? So what that means is, now think about this for a moment. You look at sites like Google, Facebook, Twitter. I mean, 10 years ago, some of these companies, you hardly even heard of them. Okay, now they're everywhere. You know, how long did it take for Facebook to rise to power? You know, to gain as much money as they have. How long did it take? It took, you know, several years, just a few years. And then next thing you know, they're everywhere. That's what's happening right now to Bitcoin. Okay? But if you're not paying attention and you're not watching everything around you, you're not seeing the writing on the wall, then you're going to miss it. I'm here to tell you right now what's going on. Bitcoin is on the rise, and if you get in now, five years from now, Bitcoin's going to be everywhere. Bitcoin's going to be accepted everywhere, and you're going to wish that you would listen to me. So I just want to get that out there. You know, now let's talk about some altcoins. There's many different types of cryptocurrencies out there right now. Ever since Bitcoin came out, everybody and their grandmom wants to come out with an imitation Bitcoin. Okay, they want to come out with their own copycat Bitcoins, if you will. Okay, and there are some other exchanges like Poloniex. Let me pull that up here. Okay, so here is Poloniex. This is a Bitcoin or cryptocurrency exchange. What this exchange allows is it allows you to basically exchange many different altcoins, but and kind of like what's similar to like the stock market. Okay, so there's many different types of cryptocurrencies out there, but Bitcoin is the main one. Bitcoin's the one that actually has the real value. Bitcoin is the one that is, you know, valued at $740 per Bitcoin right now. Okay, all these other currencies, they're maybe, you know, $5, $10, few cents, things like that. I mean, some of these Bitcoins are worth nothing. Or I shouldn't say Bitcoins, because they're not Bitcoins. They're called altcoins. All right. Some of these altcoins are worth nothing. I mean, you know, their price value is at, you know, a few pennies, for example. So here, for example, you know, this one's here is 0.2 of a cent. It's not even worth 1 cent. Okay, this one's factom. This one's factom altcoin, and this one is worth 0.2 of 1 cent. You know, 5 years from now, you may not even, this currency may not even be around. All right, these are kind of like trading penny stocks right now for the cryptocurrency world. All right. So what Poloniex is you go and you buy your Bitcoin, and then you can go and you can get on Poloniex and you can start trading. You can exchange your Bitcoin for other cryptocurrencies like Dash, Steem, Ether. I don't know. There's many of them on here. I can pull up a list for you, but you can exchange your Bitcoin for other cryptocurrencies, and then you can then trade them. You can trade them on Poloniex. Now these currencies, these other altcoins, are very volatile. Now a lot of investors typically, you know, when they invest, they don't like, you always hear in the media, oh, the markets are really volatile, and, you know, they make it sound like it's a really bad thing. But to day traders, they love volatility, because the prices are going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And every time those prices are going up and down, that's an opportunity to make some money. So a real investor who knows what they're doing, they love volatility. They don't like it when the market's stagnant and it's just barely moving and it's just going sideways. They don't like that, because it's very hard to make any money. Nobody makes any money when it's like that. Okay, you need movements in the markets to make money. On Poloniex, with these altcoins, a lot of these altcoins are very, very volatile right now. You know, they're going up 50 to 60% one day and then down the next day. All right. I'm not telling you to go and start investing, making trades on Poloniex. Okay, that's not what this video is all about. I'm just trying to give you a lot of background details about cryptocurrency and what cryptocurrency is, and, you know, different ways that you can make money from it. But I'm giving you just a little bit of background. I'm really going to stay away from these exchanges mostly myself, just because I don't think it's the best way to make money to increase the value of your Bitcoin. You can do this, and I will have some videos on how to exchange on Poloniex later. I'll show you how to make some profits from Poloniex in some future videos. But for the most part, I'm not going to have a whole lot of my money in Poloniex exchanging these altcoins and trying to make trades on altcoins. It's just not where I want to spend a whole lot of my time. I much rather spend a lot of my time on the marketing and promoting Bitcoin products and services. And that's what you're going to see in my videos coming up. Okay, so what Poloniex is you go and you can buy, you take your Bitcoin that you already bought and you deposit it into your Poloniex account, okay, into your Bitcoin wallet in your Poloniex account, and then you can then trade for different altcoins. You can go and buy Ethereum, you can go and buy Steem, you can go and buy Rupal, you can go and buy Dash, okay? You can go and buy Litecoin, all right, and start trading these different altcoins and looking to, you know, make a profit. So if I'm looking here you can see, let's go and find some of these coins that are very, very volatile, like Clam here. Let's see what we've got. let's see, Vcash. Let me pause this video for a moment, and then I'm going to pull up a list of different currencies. Give me a moment. Okay, so here is a list at coinmarketcap.com where you can find a list of all the different altcoins that are out there. At the top, we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a market cap of $11.9 billion right now. And when we rank by actual market cap, we can see that Bitcoin is the biggest market right now. So $11.9 billion, and this thing is growing daily. All right. The second in line is Ethereum. Ethereum has a $945 million market. All right. Then we have Ripple, Litecoin, Monero, Ethereum Classic, Dash, Steem. Okay. So these are some of the different cryptocurrencies that are out there that you can trade on Poloniex. Okay. Let me show you something else. Okay, so I'm still here on coinmarketcap.com, and I've gone ahead and I've opened up a few different currencies. One is Nexus, then we have Mooncoin, we have Vericoin, Breakout Stake, Ads Coins, Fuel Coin, and let's go ahead and sort these by price. Okay, we can look at the price here, and let's go to the past 3 months. Here we can see the prices here is pretty volatile. I mean, it's gone up and down just in the past 2 weeks alone. Here it has gone from less than 1 cent up to 2 cents. That's over 100% ROI, folks. Okay, that's what I mean. These currencies are very volatile. So they are a bit risky because nobody knows, which of these altcoin currencies are going to come out on top. 5 years from now, there may be no Vericoin. The market cap on Vericoin may be nothing. Okay, right now the market cap is only $818,000. It's a very small market cap compared to Bitcoin's 11.9 billion. Okay, so Bitcoin is the #1 leader right now in cryptocurrency. All right, all these other copycat coins out here, they're all trying to get a piece of the pie. They're all trying to compete for the space right now because it's something new. But most likely 5 years from now, most of these guys are not even going to be around anymore. They're not going to be worth anything. Some of these might even be pump and dumps sort of things, So if you're going to do some trades within altcoins, it is very risky, but there is money to be made because these altcoins are very volatile right now. So I'm not saying don't do it. Don't go and trade on Poloniex, because you should. You should. If you've got an extra spare time, you've got some extra money lying around, then yeah, you should go and trade some of these currencies. But I want you to really focus on my trainings in future videos, because you're going to make far more money than trading on Poloniex with some of the techniques and things that I'm going to teach you later in some of my future videos. Okay, so just keep this in the back of your mind. Keep Poloniex in the back of your mind as something to do later. Keep cloud mining in the back of your mind as something to do later. Okay, so let's get out of Poloniex here, and let's start talking a little bit more about Bitcoins. Bitcoins can also be broken down into halves and little bits and pieces. Okay, so you don't have to go out and buy a whole entire Bitcoin for $740. Okay, you can buy half of a Bitcoin, you can buy a quarter of a Bitcoin, or eighth of a Bitcoin. They are broken down into 8 decimal places. Okay, and it's called a Satoshi. So when you break down these different Bitcoins, they're broken down by Satoshis. Alright, so 1 Bitcoin, let's go ahead and take a look here. I pulled up a calculator called BTC.com. BTC.com. All right, so go to that website and you can put in a value here. Let's say if I wanted 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin converted to US dollars is $741.57. Okay, now if I did, say for example, 200,000 Satoshis. Okay, it's 200,000 Satoshis. There we go. Just want to make sure I got that right. All right, that is $1.48. Okay. Now, if I take away that 2, take away another 0, add a 2, and add a 0, and now it's 2 million, right? Just make sure it should be 2 million Satoshis. Okay, now that's 1483. Okay, now if we add another 2, make it 22 million Satoshis. Now it's $163. Okay, so that's how Bitcoins work. They're divided into multiple decimal places like that. Okay, they're also, you have MBTC, bits, Satoshis. You can also do like that. So this is how you can find out how much your actual bits and pieces of your Bitcoins are worth. Okay, if you don't have a whole Bitcoin, come to this site and punch in, you know, how much Bitcoin you have in tenths, in decimals that you have for your Satoshis. It's kind of hard for me to explain this. It is kind of relatively new. Something different. But basically, a Bitcoin is broken down into decimal places, okay, and they're called Satoshis. All right, so, you know, 10 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 10 million Satoshis is $74, okay. So when you go and you make a deposit into some of these other sites, when you're trying to make a payment, always keep this in mind. Now you know how to calculate what your actual bits and pieces of a Bitcoin is worth. Now anything before the decimal place is a whole Bitcoin. Alright, so 1 point whatever, that 1 represents 1 whole Bitcoin. Okay, anything before that decimal place on the left hand side of the decimal represents 1 whole Bitcoin. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. This video is going on for quite a while, but I wanted to give you guys all the details on Bitcoin, and I wanted to try to give you guys a little bit of background about how Bitcoin works so that you can start earning more money from Bitcoin. Now in my follow-up videos after this one, I'm going to start giving trainings on, you know, how to make that Bitcoin grow. Okay, really pay attention to my trainings, folks, because this is going to be really big. If you're really paying attention to me right now, then this is going to be pretty big for you, and you're going to make a lot of money. Okay, so what I need from you guys, if you really like this video and you want to see more videos, then I need you guys to make these things go viral for me. I need you guys to like and subscribe. I need you to click the subscribe button. I need you to like my videos. I need you to share them on Google+, Twitter, Facebook. Make this thing go viral. What's going to happen from that is basically it's going to make the price of Bitcoin go up. But aside from that, you know, it helps to get the word out and helps a lot of other people start learning about Bitcoin, and everybody makes some money that way. So if you really like my videos, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you share my videos, Facebook, Twitter, Bing, not Bing, Google+, okay, and that's it, folks. That's how you can keep in touch with me. Just make sure you subscribe. I'm also going to be releasing a website for my blog. I'll be throwing up a blog here pretty soon. Actually, it's already created. I just got to start adding content. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you liked it, and see you soon. One last thing, I almost forgot. I wanted to go ahead and add this on. I will be including a link in the bottom of this video in the comments section for Coinbase. It will be a referral link. You will get $10 by using that link to sign up at Coinbase, make your deposit, and then Coinbase will also deposit $10 into your account. You will get $10 and I will also get $10 just for simply referring you. That will help me out to earn a little bit of money, and it'll also help you guys out to get a little bit of money as well. So it goes both ways. It helps you to go ahead and get your account set up, get some Bitcoin in there, and again, you're not losing any money, folks. The Bitcoin, once you purchase the Bitcoin is still worth money. You can go and still take that Bitcoin and exchange it for dollars, for gold, or whatever else. I mean, it's as good as cash. As long as things continue the way they have been, Bitcoin prices are still continuing to climb. Right now, one Bitcoin is worth $740, and by the time you watch this video, I can almost guarantee you that the price is going to be higher. So go out there, start buying your Bitcoin now. Get your keep a wallet, or your keep key. I'm getting tongue tied. All right, so it's called Keep Key, or get your Nano S wallet if you want to use a hardware wallet. That's the more safer route to go, rather than using Coinbase, but you can get started with Coinbase. I am already getting started with Coinbase, and I already have over $2,000 in my account in Bitcoin on my Coinbase account. Okay, so I'm still using Coinbase, but eventually I've already ordered a hardware wallet. I ordered the Ledger Nano S. That should be coming next week, and by the time that comes, I'll be doing another video showing how to get that all set up and how to use it. I'll be talking more about the Nano S, and I'll discuss that then. I also went ahead and I bought a BitPay debit card. The BitPay debit card cost me $10 for me to buy it, and that's also coming to me next week, and I'll be doing a video on that as well. I will be providing links below this video for Coinbase, BitPay, and also, some links for the hardware Bitcoin wallets. The Nano Ledger S, or the Ledger Nano S, that's what it's called, and also the other one, which is Keep Key. They look like this. Let me go ahead and show you. Here's the Ledger Nano S. It is $69. And this one is the Keep Key. The Keep Key is really nice because it's got this display on the front here, and it allows you to really confirm your transactions. And because it also has this display, when you have your private keys, from the way I understand this, now as I said, I haven't actually gotten the device yet, but when I get the device, I will be doing an update video about these devices. But both of these are pretty good. I like the Ledger Nano S, but the Keep Key is really nice. It's got a bigger display, and both of these actually have displays on them. And from my understanding is that it doesn't have an operating system. There's no way for viruses or malware or keyloggers to infect this device. And also, because it has a display on it, hackers or anybody like that, they can't screenshot your computer screen to get any type of codes that would be required to access your Bitcoin. So by using one of these devices, you're really keeping yourself safe from having any of your accounts hacked or something. Now, Coinbase is still safe. You have your two-factor authentication if you set that up with Coinbase, so it's really hard to get access to your Coinbase account. Coinbase is safe, but it's best if you have one of these hardware wallets to really protect your assets. I mean, this is your money you're talking about. Coinbase is not really a bank. This is all new territory right now. There's very little regulations. Nobody really knows how it's all going to be handled or, sorted out in the future. That's why the IRS is, currently going after Coinbase. There's no regulations. This is completely new territory. So if you're ready to be a pioneer in this space and get in early, now's your time. Go buy yourself some Bitcoin on Coinbase. If you want, you can also buy one of these hardware wallets to keep your assets safe. That's all. So I'm going to be providing links for these two Amazon products, as well as the BitPay debit card, and also the Coinbase account. And remember, you'll get $10 when you sign up at Coinbase. Okay?